Life's rough when you depend on me to give you weapons, items, armor, information for your journey, and still you still push it and try to hurt me. Life's tough when you're an NPC. Life's rough when you depend on me.
Well, it looks like it is time to get magical. We're diving back into the world of Ewan Clooney's active imagination. You know, the guy who was responsible for Kagagami High. It turns out that this is Clooney's thing. The man has made a name for himself in the RPG community by creating games based around the Japanese schoolgirl premise. Some of which are Magical Girl inspired, while others are more of a slice of life sort of anime. We will get to the others down the line, but today we're sticking with the one that is, without a doubt, the most Magical Girl out of all of them, Magical Burst. I also love the fact that Clooney has seemingly cornered the market in terms of this style of RPG. He has found an interesting little niche market and, well, took absolute control over it. You do see some anime-inspired games, but most of the time they're typically shonen-style fighting games, similar to like Dragon Ball Z. But not so much with Schoolgirls or Magical Girl department. It is quite a refreshing change of pace. And say what you will about Clooney, he sure does know how to put a game together. I'm actually a huge fan of Clooney's work. I'm not that big into anime, let alone skimming the surfaces of Magical Girl anime and Schoolgirl anime. Hell, I can vaguely remember aspects of Sailor Moon in the first few episodes of Madoka Magica. But damn it, Clooney's presentation, passion, and work really make me want to pick up the book or even watch an anime. Funny enough, I'm actually in one right now, which is the reason why this one actually got bumped up the queue. My friend Dan is running a Magical Girl game from Magical Burst, so I decided to give a review of it after I played it a couple of times. While Magical Burst takes from a number of different sources from the Magical Girl anime genre, its heaviest influence seems to be Puella Madoka Magica, an anime that seems to blend the deranged and demonic with some typical lighthearted animes. Madoka Magica was one of the more, at least from the terms of an outsider like me speaking, first Magical Girl animes to explore a much more darker and sadistic undertone. The game, like Kagagami High, is filled to the brim with more tables in which you can randomly generate a character or make up your own or pick and choose from the tables if you so wish. And what I really like about the tables of this is that they definitely show the wide range of emotions that this game goes through. Some are very lighthearted and chipper and just gosh darn optimistic, while others are just surprisingly dreary and like sad and depressing, and they'll just slap you in the face, similar to what Madoka Magica does. Some of the sections are adorable, such as, all I want to do is protect my friends, or love is the way to solve everything. Others, though, are much more like, I wish my father would stop hitting my mother, or it would be nice to feel anything. Ever. The game also plays a lot like Madoka Magica. I guess this can kind of depend on who your storyteller is, but from the way that I at least see how it's presented in the book that Clooney gave us, it seems like there is definitely this bright, vibrant world of Magical Girls, and, you know, the world that you live in. But just under the surface seems to be brewing this dark aura. It's just kind of like that creepy little thing just off in the corner that you can't see. It's this looming evil presence over this very beautiful sort of scenery, and I like the way that the game plays with the lightness and the darkness and that effect. Magical Burst also works like Madoka Magica in that you have this adorable little Tsukaima to make you into a Magical Girl and put you in a quest that will, no doubt, end in your gruesome demise. The Tsukaima also walks that brilliant line between adorable and deadly. You just want to hug the little plushie that comes to life. You just want to smother it in love and attention. But you know that it could kill you in a second, and if it so well chose, would choose torture over love. Reminds me of my cats in that way. Adorable and deadly. You know that they're probably going to scratch the shit out of you, but sometimes you just can't resist petting their adorable little bellies. Combat in the game is certainly interesting as well. The game splits up combat into 5 stages with incremental levels of dread in their names. You start on the Flower Garden, you work your way up the chart further into levels until you reach things like Purgatory and Hell. You can move 2 steps per turn and make an attack. The game works on a D6 system similar to Kagagami High, with 6s exploding. However, there is a problem with that. You see, too many 6s can have what's called overburst that could lead to bad things happening. It's kind of like an incremental Nat 1, so to speak, that builds up over time until something inevitably bad happens to you. Combat is more simplistic than other games, but it really does work. It all fits in this giant theme of Magical Girls that I really like about it. And even though it's simple, it's very easy to understand. I mean, there's some things that you really need to pick up on, there's some things that you're going to mess up, just as any game, but really it's very simple and getting you out there, getting you playing, and getting you fighting the forces of evil. Magical Girls is the type of game that fits into a niche market, but it's also a very competent, smart, and well-made game. Ewan Clooney does it again, using the D6 system and some interesting source material to make a game that is fun and engaging. While I'm still not a huge fan of Magical Girls or really anime in general, this game certainly made me a believer. It made me want to go out and look at more Magical Girl animes, to at least see what all is out there to be seen. Ultimately, Magical Girls gets a crit. It's a great game. It's another fantastic game from the mind of Ewan Clooney, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has in store for us later. Until next time.